We would be honored if you would join us.
There has been an awakening. Have you felt it? Julian, we're home.
Hey Star Wars fans, this is the Force Talk podcast where we talk all things Star Wars, from the news to the comics to speculation about what could happen. My name's Trey Mitchell, and I'm joined here with my host Josh. Josh, what's up?
Hey guys, can't wait to talk some Star Wars news. Yeah.
And then we also have special guest who was on a few weeks ago, Dean Cook.
Awesome, guys. Thanks for having me back. I'm excited to talk some Star Wars. We've got some good notes ahead of us.
Yeah. And then Tanner should come on in a little bit. I think he's running a little bit late. But, so, yeah, we'll just get things started off with some movie news. And if you've been on Twitter in the last week, you've probably seen a meme of this character. But in The Force Awakens, and by the way, this is an all-spoiler episode, so if you haven't seen The Force Awakens, I don't know why you're listening to this. But, so just, you've been warned. But the identity of the stormtrooper that battled Finn, he was a riot trooper in The Force Awakens. He was under the nickname TR-8R for traitor because he's the one who screamed traitor. StarWars.com has revealed that another trooper, part of Finn's old unit, is indeed the new fan favorite trooper nicknamed TR-8R. If you are not familiar with the reference, TR-8R is a trooper with the riot control gear who yells traitor to Finn in The Force Awakens. His true name is FN2199, aka Nines. If you have read Before the Awakening, you get a better idea of these troopers are. So Josh, is this any news to you?
I mean, not really, because before this whole story came out, I was reading Before the Awakening, and I really don't like it so far. I'm really not liking that book, and I don't know, I just don't care. I like T8AR. I like TR-8R. I think it's just an awesome nickname. I just don't care. We're not going to see him again. He's already dead.
Well, actually, they went on to say, hopefully we see him in other films or something like that.
I mean, yeah, it would be cool, but I mean, how old is he? We might see him in another
20,
book, maybe,
20,
but...
Like 23, 22?
He should get his own comic series.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're giving a comic series to Chewbacca, let's might as well give one to TR-8R while we're at it. But, yeah, I mean, it's just not a big deal. It's just to me.
Yeah. How about you, Dean? What do you think about it?
Other than the fact that people are walking around saying that he might not be dead and things like that, he's definitely dead. He got shot by Chewbacca's crossbow. I believe there is also a third stormtrooper, so it was Nine's Finn.
Slip was one of them.
Yeah. So we might see him kind of come back to avenge Nines. Other than that, it doesn't really matter to me too much. So
people are saying that the stormtrooper who died in the first shot with the blood was Slip.
Yeah, that would make sense. Make it more powerful as well.
There was also one more. I forget his name. But yeah, I think that would make sense if the stormtrooper. Josh, if you don't know who Slip is, I think so. Like Slip is like the one stormtrooper that isn't like he's like not very good at being a stormtrooper. So like Finn like feels bad and tries to like keep up with help him. And yeah, but like he's not very good. And I'm on StarWars.com and it says let's see. So there you have the stormtrooper behind the name. Let's hope we haven't seen the last of Nines. So I don't know what that means.
Yeah, they'll probably do a book or a comic or just show him in somewhere and like a training montage or something like that.
Yeah, like a Rocky stormtrooper montage.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
We need a Rocky montage in the Star Wars universe.
And they actually have a Funko Pop of this character.
Do they really?
Yeah, but it's like $25 on Amazon, and it doesn't say TR-8R or anything. It just says like Riot Control Stormtrooper. I was tempted, but I'm like, I'm not spending $25 on this.
Yeah, if it doesn't say like Nines or TR-8R, I'm not gonna.
I'm gonna get some BVS ones soon.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah. So okay, our next piece of news. So Star Wars beats Avatar in the domestic box office numbers. On Wednesday, the Disney and Lucasfilm mega blockbuster Star Wars The Force Awakens overtook the 760.5 million earned by James Cameron's Avatar. The Force Awakens, which grossed 6.2 million for the day, for a domestic total of 7,600 or 764 point I can't speak 764.4 million, achieved the milestone in only 20 days and 20 days in release, a remarkable feat. So Dean, I know you're not in the U.S., but it doesn't really matter. But are you pretty astonished by this, or were you expecting this?
I was expecting it after we saw the opening weekend box office. It is an amazing feat. One that I don't think will be beaten for a long time. I know a lot of people are saying that once Episode 8 comes out, all the records will be beat again and things like that. But I don't think that's the case. I think because Episode 7 was the first good Star Wars we were getting in years. I think that's the reason it was obviously such a big hit at the box office. Thing is, if Episode 8 is amazing, then I reckon Episode 9 has a really good chance to beat all these records that Episode 7 is setting.
I agree.
Oh, yeah.
What about you, Josh? Any thoughts on this?
I think this is great news because I hate Avatar. I'm one of the people that just think Avatar is such a boring, really bad movie, and I don't know why people went out to see it so much. Because I don't know even how it was became the best, the top highest grossing movie. Because I know a lot of people didn't see this movie in theaters. I didn't see it in theaters.
A lot of old people that hadn't been to the movie theater in a very long time. It was just a spectacle. Like, everyone was going back to the movie theater. Like, people that either never go or hadn't been in years or just gave up on prices and stuff like that.
And I think Star Wars did that too. It's a new one.
That's a good point.
Definitely.
I mean, because I know Tanner asked a question on Twitter. He's like, I feel like I'm the only one that didn't see Avatar in theaters, and there was so many replies that said, no, I didn't see it. I didn't see it in theaters.
I saw it a few times. The thing about Avatar is it was kind of not the same in terms of quality, but it kind of did the same thing for filmmaking that the original Star Wars did, where it was just so
visual.
Innovative, and no one has ever seen something like it, just because of the technology and in 3D and how it was all kind of I guess it was motion capture.
A lot of mocap.
But it was just kind of a spectacle.
James Cameron is next level with everything that he puts out. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh, James Cameron's great. He's a great director. It's just I didn't like the movie, and I'm really glad finally something could take it down.
I liked it. I just don't think it should have been the first of all time.
And I'm hoping
give it 10.
I'm hoping Star Wars could get the worldwide to be the best.
Me too, but I don't think it's that big of a deal.
I think it's just
not
something
that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Avatar was out for 8 months in theaters though, so
that's a good.
Yeah, you got to remember the Blu-rays coming out
it
of
also
Star
got
Wars in 3
it
months
also
or
got
so, wasn't it?
re-released.
I think April 5th, yeah. But does Blu-ray account towards the overall sale?
No, but people will stop going to the movies if they can just watch it at home. So
yeah, but that's not confirmed yet. I think they'll put it out more towards May, to be honest. I think April 5th is too soon because that's a month and a half removed from theaters probably.
I'm hoping it's April. I'm hoping it comes in April.
Me too, but I think it'd be more of a spectacle if it came out in May, the same time
Civil War.
Civil War came out. And
no, I think it will come out in May, but I want it to come out in April because I just want to be able to watch it when I'm on in the car on the way to Orlando, or when I'm on a plane or something. I want to be able to watch the movie on a portable DVD player. But I can't do so. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to see it.
Yeah. So yeah, Star Wars beat Avatar in the United States. It probably beat it. It just released in China, if not today, then yesterday. So the Chinese market, people aren't necessarily sure because it's not Star Wars isn't as crazy there as it is Japan. Sorry, I can't speak. But China is the biggest country in the world. So even if it plays in half the amount of theaters it did in Japan, it can still make a ton of money. I think the highest a movie has ever made in China was 389 million, which I think Star Wars can probably make, but I just don't. I've obviously never been to China, so I don't know what the Star Wars demographic there is. So yeah, our next piece of news is so Star Wars: The Force Awakens is headed to stars. and the other films are going to Netflix. According to the Hollywood Reporter, Episode 8 will be the final film under the Disney umbrella to be featured on the Starz network. The previously established deal between Disney and Starz to air Disney films on the premium cable network came to an end in 2015, which is being replaced this year by a similar agreement with the streaming giant Netflix. Thus, The Force Awakens will debut on Starz, and select future Star Wars films such as Rogue One, Episode 8, and others will be added to Netflix sometime after their release. Disney's deal with Netflix will reportedly last for 4 years. So, Force Awakens is coming to Starz. Everything else is going to Netflix. Except, I think if you're in Canada, The Force Awakens goes to Netflix early. That came out like last year. But, are you guys planning on getting... I don't know if you have Starz in Australia, Dean, but Josh, do you plan on getting it to watch?
Oh, I already
Star
have
Wars?
Starz.
Oh, you already have Starz?
I have every channel.
Do you have it, Dean?
I don't pay for every channel. I think they made a mistake and gave us all the channels.
Nice.
And I think they still haven't noticed. So I have every channel.
Nice.
And yeah, I'm happy for this because like I could just turn on TV and watch Force Awakens. So
Yeah.
that's cool. And Netflix, the other movies should be on Netflix. I don't know why they're not on Netflix yet, but they should.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Dean, do you have Starz?
I don't have Starz, but as I said before the podcast, Foxtel will probably get all the Star Wars goodies. That's
Yeah.
where all the content goes. Thing that I'm excited for with this deal, though, is moving forward is once the movies come on Netflix, it's only about time that the TV shows start coming as well. So you probably see like a year after the movies start hitting Netflix, you'll start seeing the TV shows appear.
Yeah, and we saw that with Marvel. The Avengers got on Netflix, and then we got Daredevil, I think, like a year after the Avengers hit Netflix.
Yeah, exactly.
But the Avengers isn't on Netflix anymore. But
Oh really? It's not?
no. But I think for a lot of people, I mean, people like us, obviously, this isn't that big of a deal. Just because we will probably own the Blu-ray and have it accessible every single form of media. But for normal people, I don't know how popular Starz is. I don't have it because I know the whole HBO that thing is like $30 a month, which I just wouldn't use Starz except to watch like The Death of Superman Lives. What happened? I want to watch that. But
It's so
I don't-
good. You gotta watch it.
yeah, but I don't really have a purpose for Starz, so I probably won't get it. But I will still own it on Blu-ray, obviously. But I don't know. I mean, it would be really cool if you just like check in the channels, and then you just see Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
It might bring people that didn't go to the movies to see it, the cinemas to see it. It might bring them to actually start watching it, and we might get some more Star Wars fans out of it. So it's always a plus.
The more Star
Yeah.
Wars fans, the better.
Oh, I wouldn't have Starz if they didn't give me Starz for free. I wouldn't have Starz. Way too high.
What shows are even on Starz?
I only watch Ash vs. Evil Dead on Starz. I know like Dexter was Starz, or I think
Dexter was Showtime.
Oh, Showtime. Okay.
That was a great show.
I watch Ash vs. Evil Dead on Starz, but that's all I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so, yeah, I guess Tanner's nowhere to be found right now. Maybe he'll come back later. But our next piece of news is The Force Awakens was nominated for Art Director Guild Award. The award nominations for Star Wars: The Force Awakens continue to come in. The latest nod is for the production designers Rick Carter and Darren Guilford in the fantasy film category of the Art Directors Guild Excellence in Program Design Awards. The list of nominees for this category are Cinderella, Jurassic World, Mad Max: Fury Road, Star Wars: The Force Awakens, and Tomorrowland. Do you guys, Dean, do you think it will win this category in, production designers? For the production designers?
Probably. Doesn't worry me too much if it doesn't. I think it deserves it, but nearly every movie there was good product design wise. Like even Cinderella was amazing. Like if you look at the dresses and obviously the set design for the ballroom and everything, but
Oh yeah.
Star Wars is next level. Star Wars is definitely next level. Like they create worlds, not ballrooms. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it won.
I think Mad Max will probably get it, but Josh, what do you think?
Did you notice 3 out of the 5 nominees are all Disney? 3 out of 5 are Disney movies.
Yeah, because Disney's taking over the world, obviously.
Oh yeah.
Did you guys see Tomorrowland?
There's Skynet.
No, I didn't see. I saw all the bad reviews for it, so I didn't go.
Me too.
Oh,
Josh,
Tomorrowland was such a waste of money.
really?
Such a waste. I wasted $10 to go see that movie, and
It
I'm
made-
still mad about it.
It made Kevin Smith's top of the year. I was surprised.
Was it really?
Yeah, but he was like this is a movie for filmmakers, not necessarily the general audience. And Tomorrowland was a big deal for Star Wars fans too, because that's the project that took Brad Bird off of Star Wars.
It sucks for him. Sucks for him.
Yeah, hopefully he'll
Go,
do it.
go back to Incredibles, because Incredibles 2, can't wait. But this, I don't think they'll win. Like, I want them to, and I think they deserve it, but I just don't think they'll win. I think it'll go to someone like you said, Cinderella had such great production design. I don't think Tomorrowland should be even nominated, because there was
If
only...
anything, Mad Max will probably win. But
Yeah.
it'd be good to get Star Wars up there.
I don't think Jurassic World or Tomorrowland should be nominated.
I didn't see Tomorrowland or Cinderella, but I didn't like Mad Max Fury Road that much or Jurassic World. I'm the only one that didn't.
Cinderella was a pretty good movie.
I'm the only one that didn't like Mad
Yeah.
Max. I'm aware of that, but I just didn't. Thought it was kind of weird, but I thought it looked pretty good. But I still think Star Wars has. I mean, Mad Max was just in a desert. Star Wars was in a desert. It was in snow. It was in a lake area.
Multiple planets.
Space of a ship.
Oh yeah, I think they deserve to win.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully Star Wars can get. I don't have the nominations for the Oscars came out.
No, they come out probably in a week or something. Tomorrow's the Golden Globes, so probably in like a week the Oscars will.
What award show is the Golden Globes for?
Golden Globes are movies and TV.
Oh, and that's the one hosted by Ricky Gervais, right?
Yeah.
Then isn't Chris Rock hosting the Oscars?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope Star Wars gets some nominations at the Oscars, but I just don't think it will. It would be amazing if they got like a Best Picture nomination.
I don't know if any Star Wars film has gotten a Best Picture nomination.
No, it hasn't. The only Star Wars thing that's been nominated besides like visuals, I think, is Alec Guinness got nominated.
That's true. I think J.J. Abrams could get nominated.
Yeah, I think it's a packed year. Like with how the Academy is, I think they're gonna give it to like people that probably don't deserve it as much as J.J. did.
Yeah. So our next piece of news is a rumor, and StarWarsTime.com is where this comes from. But the Rogue One trailer will be released with Captain America: Civil War. And that is what this website is claiming. We may be waiting a few months for the trailer for the most anticipated film of 2016, Rogue One: A Star Wars Story, and that's according to Fandango.com, by the way. But StarWarsTime.com is reporting that a trailer for the film will be released to coincide with Marvel Studios' Captain America: Civil War, which hits theaters May 2016. It seems logical to assume that the theater will be released on, or that the trailer will be released online around the same time or just before Civil War's release in theater. So, Josh, does this seem like a reasonable time that the Force Awakens, the Rogue One trailer could be released, or is that too late, too early?
This is a great idea. Why wouldn't they? This is the perfect time to release it. They should release it with Captain America: Civil War. I knew they probably would. Like that's what I've always speculated is it would release with Civil War. It makes sense from a business standpoint. It'll get people like in the theater. They'll already be seeing Civil War, but they're also going to be like, oh, what's this movie? Like, but I wish there would be like a teaser for Batman v Superman. I want to see a trailer earlier than later. So yeah, that's the only thing. But it does make sense.
Yeah. What do you think, Dean?
I think it's less about the movie, so I don't really care if it's with Civil War or we're all going to see it online before we see it in the theatre. I think it's more about the time. So I think they're timing it in a way that once the Force Awakens hype goes and they've got this like medium to start obviously producing advertisement for Rogue One, that's probably around the same time they wanted to do it anyway. So throwing it onto Civil War is probably just the go-to thing. But I think it's a perfect time to start doing the Rogue One advertising. So Force Awakens is slowly going out of everyone's mind. People want more. They'll start seeing little snippets of Rogue One and they'll get into it. It's going to be good. And then you start seeing it at the football games and the Disney marketing machine will take over once again.
Yeah. In my opinion, this is a little late for Rogue One. I think even the Super Bowl would be a decent time to release a trailer, but that would be like a lot of money for that amount of time. But even Batman vs Superman. But like, here's the thing, um, yeah, trailers don't get released in theaters anymore. Really, they just coincide with theaters, like, except for certain ones that like you go to the theater just to see the trailer and leave. I think um, that doesn't really happen. But I think if if Disney wanted to really capitalize on the buzz for The Force Awakens and Rogue One, they could just put it in the Blu-ray for Force Awakens. Because then you
True.
buy the
Oh, the Blu-ray
Blu-ray,
Good
sales.
idea.
Yeah.
then you buy the Blu-ray, and then you see the trailer for The Force Awakens, and you pay $25 for the Blu-ray. And it's not like you don't want to pay that 25 anyways. You're gonna get the Blu-ray, or you're gonna copy it online or something. But I think that would be probably better. One thing regarding trailers, I wanted to ask you guys. I'm not sure if we talked about it last week, but I'm really curious to kind of figure out when the first little tease for Episode 8 will come out. Um, I'm thinking Celebration this year. We'll get something.
I think
Um,
at Celebration we're gonna get a teaser, but I think we won't see a full. Like, I think we'll get a teaser at Celebration.
yeah,
I feel the people at Celebration may get the teaser. I think it might be one of those they get to see it and we don't, because they don't want to confuse the rest of the world with Rogue One Episode 8. I think they're going to not really focus too much on Episode 8 until Rogue One comes out.
Yeah, but they gotta do
I
some.
thought that too. But yeah, I mean,
before-
it's only
Yeah, true.
5 months after or Rogue One, and they kind of have to do something.
Yeah, you got to remember though, Episode 7, like even though there were snippets here and there, they didn't start the hard marketing campaign until 5 or 6 months till the movie. So
8 months.
they obviously were doing snippets and little bits and pieces here or there, but like they went really hard and really fast in that last 6 months, and it worked for them.
Yeah. Well, let's see. They came out with this Celebration teaser or trail. I guess it's still a teaser in April. So you got May, June, July, August. So like 7 months after that, The Force Awakens came out. So if you look 7 months, then October would be a time for Episode 8. But then you get people to take away from, wait, is Rogue One Episode 8? They get kind of confused. So
Yeah, it's really hard. I'm going to be really impressed if they pull it off, to be honest. Like I kind of gauge how Star Wars is getting advertised, like by asking random people at work and going, hey, like, what about this and what about this? And some people didn't even know there was a movie coming out 3 months up until Force Awakens. Obviously, everyone knows now.
yeah.
But there was some people are just so oblivious to Star Wars or like to advertisement in general.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, it'll just be interesting to see how the marketing campaign works. They should hire the Deadpool guys because they seem to be doing a hell of a job.
Amazing.
They're doing
so
amazing.
And yeah, Deadpool looks awesome. But
There's some good marketing out there. Like, there's one, like, last night I saw The Revenant, and before the movie started, they were playing like during the trailers, they played like a Spy trailer. You know, Spy, the movie that came out this year. The trailer started playing. I'm like, wait, what? This movie came out last year. And then like halfway through the trailer, it gets like all staticky. Like the thing goes away, and then you hear the Independence Day speech. You hear the Independence Day speech from
spoilers.
from the first one. No, from the first movie.
Yeah, I know.
And then it says ID2 on the screen, and then
That's
it just
weird.
goes away. I'm like, oh, that was really good marketing. I'm like, that's cool.
I think the
But
new
like,
Independence
just
Day
caught
looks
me off.
bad.
It just caught me off guard, like watching it. I was like, okay, that was awesome, and that was the best thing about seeing The Revenant last night.
Yeah,
That wasn't that good of a movie.
I'm gonna go see it today. But
Don't get
yeah,
your hopes high.
I think the probably we'll see. I mean, I think Disney has learned that only D20 like Star Wars Celebration. You cannot keep a trailer from going online. Like that's just not the way to do it. The only place you can do that is D23 because it's more like business like. But I mean, yeah, I think they could kind of put something for Episode 8 at Celebration and have like just really make sure it's they really. I mean, everyone at Celebration is not going to be confused by it, and like maybe you don't even put it on. Like maybe you only have it on StarWars.com or something. So like it's
Well, remember how the Rogue One trailer was? They kind
But-
of released that.
yes, but in Star Wars Celebration's in like June this year, right?
I think it's May again.
No, they switch. It's in the summer this time
Okay.
because it's in
It's in London as well,
Yeah.
so there's going to be less people going.
Yeah, but they will have like 5 months of shooting done by that. Maybe all of their principal photography done, where Rogue One hadn't even started shooting yet. So I think they have to come out with something. I mean, that's just it'll be a disappointment if they don't, I guess.
I'm just looking at what the time is, like how long until the movie next movie.
Like 11 months.
Yeah, that's why they need at least
Just like a tease, or just like
Maybe like a 15, 20-second kind of thing.
you don't
I
Exactly.
don't
even
think they'll go
you don't even
overboard.
need
Yeah.
like, okay, so what if they just
What's
had
the type?
like Luke, okay, so like the camera, it's just black, right? And then you hear Luke like saying like the dark side of the force is a pathway to many things, or just something about the dark side. And then you see kind of Kylo, and then you see like Ray, or then you see Ray's face, and then you just see Luke, and he says something like cool to end it, and it's like a 25-second teaser. Like you don't really see anything, but like it doesn't spoil anything, but you get to see something.
It's like you hear
Do you
Andy
think we'll-
Serkis. It's like you hear Andy Serkis's voice. He's like, "I am Plagueis," like in that
That would
whole
be
teaser.
that would be
I don't know, but basically, what I think they should do, like when you guys were mentioning 15, 20 second, basically what they should do, like in my opinion, if I were Disney, here's what I would do. I would have just like Star Wars like coming in, like kind of like dim, like just like coming like so it's like 15 seconds. It just says Star Wars, and then under it you get a title for
yeah. I want a title really bad.
Path of the Jedi.
Maybe. I think
Oh yeah, true. That they might give us the title.
That's
Um,
it, just a title, and then maybe like right after you just see like a shot of Kylo Ren, or no, while the title's going like fading into the screen. How what if we had like Luke saying Obi-Wan's like for 1,000 years the Jedi were like that whole thing? If Luke sang it,
or Ray says to Luke, I'm ready, and then he goes, tell that to Conja Club.
you tell that the Kanjika.
So yeah, so that
They're going their own anthology movie. They should get their own anthology movie.
Conja Club. I want to know who King Pruna is, or Prunta is, the guy who wants Rathars for his zoo. Like that sounds weird.
That does sound interesting. I really want to see
I
that.
for some reason I imagine like, so do you know how in episode 4 when they filmed it they had Jabba the Hutt, but when they filmed it, Jabba was a human.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I see that guy as that King Pruna guy. I don't know why.
I do too.
Like it's just some kind of fat guy in a coat who kind of looks like that guy in Rebels who's like eating stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
So
we've already seen him.
yeah, maybe we have. Actually, that could work. But okay, so not episode. I already got it wrong. So this is a possible plot scenario for Star Wars, or for Rogue One, a Star Wars story. So I will put in bold titles spoilers here, and then you guys can keep watching if you don't want to hear this, but just turn the sound on, and then when we're done, I'll say end spoilers. So you've been warned right now. So I'll let you give 2 seconds to turn your sound down. And okay, so this comes from MakingStarWars.net, which is reporting that Mads Mikkelsen, whose character name is Gaelic, that's what his name appears to be in the film, is kind of the key to the film in a way. He is a scientist that took over the Geonosian Death Star project. He solved several of the flaws the Empire could not, and is sort of a revered person in the Empire for his contributions. However, Mikkelsen's character is a Robert Oppenheimer type of character. Oppenheimer helped design the atomic bomb, only to say, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." The guilt Galen feels for his contributions to the Empire become too much, and he defects, attempting to make things right. In order to do so, he enlists the help of his only daughter, Felicity Jones' character, and she has to undo the devastation her family has unleashed onto the galaxy. Early versions of this character had her as a bounty hunter type of mercenary, but the familial connections, it also appears as if this idea might not interface with all the final stuff of the character, so I'm hesitant to say that the bounty hunter / mercenary type in the final iterations of the film. I believe she is probably the scientist type character herself of the mission to get the plans, aided by bounty hunters in this final iteration, but it could be wrong by that. And that comes from Jason Ward from MakingStarWars.net. And this is, I think that this would be a really, really cool plot point I mean, Star Wars is obviously all about families, and I don't know if you guys have seen the movie The Hunt with Mads Mikkelsen.
No, I
No.
haven't.
It's this movie. It's in, I think, Dutch, and he's a preschool or he's like a kindergarten teacher, and this girl like says that he like raped her, but he didn't, and so like the whole town turns against him except for his son, and he knows that like he didn't do it, but everyone's saying he's guilty before, like no one, before he could even get a trial, and he's like getting like tortured for it and stuff, and like you see him very conflicted, and that's kind of the same thing here. Like he would feel very sorry, even though he didn't do it in the movie. Like you kind of see like the way he can act. The guy's a phenomenal actor. He can do a lot, but I think that'd be really cool to see his kind of character kind of like torn apart, no pun intended. But yeah, Dean, what do you think about this?
I'm happy for it. Any good actor is in the Star Wars universe is great. Probably the thing I'm excited for, just from hearing you read it out, what Star Wars is doing now that it didn't before is, and this is why I love Lost Stars so much, is it's showing that the Empire or the First Order aren't all just completely evil dudes. Like like if you read Lost Stars and minor spoiler for Lost Stars, when you meet Tarkin for the first time, if that was the only experience you had with Tarkin, you would love Tarkin as a character and think he was the nicest guy ever.
It's like Hitler to the Nazis.
Yeah. So when you kind of see the new movies and you read the new canon and you see that not everybody in the Empire or the First Order is evil, and if they're going to bring that flavor to Rogue One, I'm very happy with that. And if they're going to continue it all throughout the new movies, from this point onwards, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should, because that was something so cool in Lost Stars. Like you actually felt for the Imperials and the people you want to go against.
Who was the smart girl?
I was.
Jade,
It starts with the J. Yeah. June.
Yeah, Jude. Yeah, Jude was such an awesome character.
Yeah, like you actually felt. Yeah, minus spoilers for Lost Stars, but no one's gonna read it. Who's not listening.
We got the spoiler tags on it anyway.
Yeah, so you actually felt something when the Death Star exploded. Like and we obviously aren't rooting for the Empire or anything, but yeah.
Every time you watch the movie from that point onwards and you see that Death Star explode, there's a part of you that's like, oh, I wish that it happened a different way, even though it had to happen that way to obviously progress the story and to make it how it was.
Yeah, you're like,
see their point of view, which is cool too. Like you see that the rebels are basically terrorists.
Yeah, and it's almost like when the Death Star blows up, it's almost like 1,000 or 1,000,000,000 voices cried out in terror, but you don't really care. One of the coolest parts of Lost Stars was definitely, I thought, was like all the stuff on Hoth. But the only thing that kind of confused me is didn't Thane say that there was like a TIE fighter like in the battle on Hoth, but I didn't see any in the movie.
I mean, maybe
the rebels left pretty quickly, so maybe the TIEs like joined after the rebels got off the planet.
Didn't Thane like shoot down one, and then he's like I'll never know if that was Sienna or not.
Yeah,
true.
So that kind of confused me, but I'm going after.
Wait, maybe it was when we were watching Han and Leia.
Yeah, I just didn't see any type. I didn't see anything, and maybe it was above. Maybe it was in space or something. But, yeah. Some people were saying, is Felicity Jones British?
Is she who?
Is she British?
Don't think so. Let me have a quick look.
I asked that because some people are because like her stunt double, she was born. That doesn't help. Yeah, I think she is British. I think it says this. I don't
Matt
know where.
Wilson is, right? Or he's
Dutch. I
Gotcha.
think. But some people are thinking that she could possibly be Rey's mother if Luke is Rey's father. Just
That'd
because
be awesome.
and then her stunt double, I think, is also the same stunt double who was for Rey, I think, and they look very similar. Two very, very pretty ladies, but yeah, I think they look kind of similar. But I really like this whole character Galen. I love how Mads Mikkelsen is in Star Wars, by the way. But I really like how he's kind of conflicted, and um, I mean, yeah, we see that the Empire isn't all bad people, and I think this kind of ties to the prequel as well too, because we see that shot on Geonosis of the Death Star plan of like the Death Star concept in like hologram form. So that would mean that he was like helped design that. So that would be kind of a cool way to tie in the prequels.
Well, this
Man,
should
and
have prequel references.
To be honest, like people are so scared of references to the prequels. As long as it's done properly, it's going to be fine. Like,
It's like
to be
in
honest, I
episode
like the
7.
prequels myself. Like, there's flaws, but I still enjoy them because
Yeah, same.
it has the backstory. Imagine if all we had was the original trilogy, we wouldn't have as much depth and backstory as we would with the prequels. So,
I like seeing the Sith in the prequels.
Yeah, all three scenes of them.
I thought the prequels did some good. They did bad, but they did some good.
Yeah, I think
they
Clone
definitely
Wars
had
3
some
showed it
awesome
good too.
scenes.
Like, George Lucas is a great storyteller. He's just not a good director.
Did you guys see how there's like a fan petition to bring him on for episode 9?
So stupid.
I don't know. He wouldn't do it either. Plus, I'd rather have Colin Trevorrow, even though I didn't really like Jurassic World that much, and I'm hoping this isn't like Jurassic World. But I think, honestly, I don't even think the director has as big of a say as like a normal director would, just because Disney like will get what they want.
Well, JJ was producing the movie.
Yeah, but like,
That's
You gotta remember, even if you
Kathleen
didn't like
Kennedy
Jurassic
is like
World,
Kathleen Kennedy's
Colin,
like a bigger part. What, Dean?
even if you didn't like Jurassic World, he still did a good job at making fans of the original Jurassic Park like Jurassic World. So, and
Yeah, exactly.
it there's a few like little things, little bits and pieces of the movie that can kind of turn a little bit of people off, but overall it was a good movie, like a well-made movie. So as long as he like makes a good movie, that's what I mean. We got to keep hoping for good movies. Once we get to like the 2 or 3 in a row, then we can start hoping for great, spectacular movies. I'm just hoping that this trilogy is good before we start like crying out about what's good and what's bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like for me, when like a director gets like picked to do something, I think what they directed, like just the directing style. Like I wasn't a huge fan of Looper that Ryan Johnson
I
directed,
love Looper.
but
I love Looper.
I wasn't a huge fan of it, but I still love the directing in the movie. I thought the directing style looked great. I thought visually it looked pretty good. So I'm excited for Ryan Johnson to do episode eight.
It's funny you say that because last night I was actually watching this video with Ryan Johnson. He was like talking about plot holes and just like the whole trouble or like everything he was doing for Looper and how he had such a really good grasp around it, and he would not let any plot holes enter the movie. And if you're looking at episode 8, that guy should be good at the helm of the movie. Plus, I mean, J.J. Abrams is also still gonna be part of it. I'm glad he's not doing episode 8. To be honest, not like I don't want him to. It's just I think it's really cool to have different takes. I mean, because Star Wars: A New Hope was great, but then Empire had a whole different feel, and then Jedi had a different feel from that. And like, say what you want about the prequels, they kind of had the same tone every single one. But
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I just think I think the safe way would to have the same director every time, but I think they're trying to really do their absolute best for this trilogy, and I think they've really done well with the casting of actors, directors, writers,
Everyone.
everything,
I think
everyone.
they've done a great job.
Yeah,
I'm very worried about Colin Trevorrow, but
yeah, I'm kind of worried too, but I haven't seen anything besides Jurassic World, so I don't really
too.
have any merit for that.
Yeah, but that's the one they were looking at.
Well,
where
I
it's
mean,
like-
I think Jurassic World was a directed movie. It just didn't have a lot of depth, but it wasn't really supposed to. So I don't know. He didn't I don't think he wrote it. Did he?
I don't think.
I mean,
no,
he-
I think he helped write it.
Don't think
Maybe.
so.
But I mean, anyway, Star Wars is gonna have great writers because, I mean, Colin's gonna have impact on the script, but it's gonna be Lawrence Kasdan, right? He might not be working on 9. Crap.
No, I
He
think
probably
he is.
will.
Well, he said the Han movie is gonna
Kathleen
be
will
his
make.
last. He said the
Yeah,
Han
but
thought.
He
Which
said
is
the
before
Han's going to
9.
be his last experience with Han, is what he said.
I don't think so. I think he said last Star Wars movie. Maybe. Anyway.
They would have made a bigger deal of it if it was his last Star Wars movie.
Yeah. I think if it is, and then Episode 9 is going to be his last. which is sad, probably. But
Be a nice way to send him out, though. Send him out with the old characters as well.
yeah. So on Fandango, they ran a poll, and Star Wars Rogue One was actually voted the most anticipated film of 2016. Movie ticket online retailer Fandango has released the top results of the polls for the most anticipated films and actors of 2016. Topping the list of the most anticipated films of 2016 is the Gareth Edwards directed Star Wars Rogue One, or Rogue One: A Star Wars Story. Second on the list is Pixar's Finding Dory, with DC/Warner Bros. Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice coming in third. And I want to say something before we talk about this. Most people probably who voted in this were going on Fandango to buy their Star Wars tickets. So just think about that when you hear this, because they probably weren't going on to look at Joy or whatever. So
Yeah.
I think that might be why. I don't think Rogue One's the most anticipated film of 2016. It is for me, but
I agree with you. Like, it is for me as well. I just think, and some of it might have been people thinking Rogue One was the sequel to The Force Awakens. They might have been like, oh, the next Star Wars, Rogue One. Oh, yeah, that's cool. Because obviously a lot of people haven't heard of what Rogue One's going to be. But some of the other movies that are beat out, like Warcraft, even though the player base is going down, Warcraft still has a massive following. The Jungle Book.
Did you like
Fantastic
that trailer
Beasts.
for Warcraft?
The trailer?
Yeah.
Nah, not really. But
Yeah, I thought it looked really bad.
I hate
Fantastic Beasts, like Harry Potter would be like the second biggest fandom after Star Wars, I reckon. And
Probably, yeah.
once the marketing starts for that, that's going to be a beast.
I'm not
X-Men.
really looking forward to that much. Or X-Men.
I'm looking forward to X-Men just because the last two were amazing. And fantastic. I'm probably a bigger Harry Potter fan than I'm a Star Wars fan, to be honest. Like
Really?
I'm a massive Harry Potter fan. It's just there's not the adult medium for being a Harry Potter fan like there is a Star Wars fan. Like Star Wars fans are all older. You can get into it. There's multiple things for it, multiple sources. Where Harry Potter is kind of the kind of book loving people that don't interact with each other. So Star Wars as a fandom is better. But yeah. But Civil War, Deadpool, like it just beats so many like anticipated movies that it can't be real. Like it would have been people buying their Star Wars ticket and clicking that, or not knowing exactly what it is and just like going, oh, Star Wars, and just closing their eyes and clicking 100 times.
Yeah.
That's probably why. Like, even for me, like, I love Star Wars. I love Star Wars, but the thing is, I'm more excited for Batman v Superman and Suicide Squad more than Rogue One. And maybe that's just because we haven't had a trailer for that yet. I said this, like, when I did my top 10 most anticipated movies, my most anticipated video, I was saying, like, we haven't gotten a trailer for Rogue One yet, so I don't really know what to expect except for
Exactly.
Like, I haven't gotten a feel for the movie. After the trailer comes out, maybe it will be my favorite, my most anticipated, but by that time, Batman v Superman will already be out, but... Maybe. Just off of what we've seen, Batman v Superman is my number one, and then Suicide Squad. I'm a huge DC person, too.
Yeah.
It's funny, Neighbours 2, or Bad Neighbours 2, is in my, like, top 5.
That is, too. For me, too.
I still have to see Neighbours.
You need to.
I know, I have to.
It will make you fall in love with Zac Efron.
I
walked out of that movie going, am I gay? I'm not sure.
Oh, my God. Neighbors 2 is in my top 5 too. Like
I think Naughty Grandfather or whatever looks freaking hilarious too, with Robert De Niro and then Zac Efron. I think that looks fun.
Everything Zac Efron does, bar the DJ movie, like lately, has been good.
We are your friends.
Like, I'm a fan of Zac Efron after Neighbors. He's like, I've seen Neighbors.
It was High School Musical for me.
I've seen Neighbors at least.
I am with you, Trey.
High School Musicals was my childhood. I still sing some songs from it.
Yes. We're soaring. We're flying.
Troy Bolton, Gabriella Dalton. I know everything. But
what are we turning into, the High School Musical podcast?
They were the rumor for High School Musical 5, and I'd be their opening night.
I'd kickstart it. I would put money into it.
Except, like, the actors kind of aren't necessarily.
I want to see High School Musical in college. Have it rated R.
No.
Rated R movie. See what they're doing.
We are your neighbors.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's that. So I think that would probably end the news segment of the podcast. We also, let's see. Oh, never mind. We also have just some kind of questions I thought up, and then last we're gonna have one viewer question. We got our first Twitter question, which is pretty cool. So I just kind of came up with some of these, and I wanted to talk about them. So the first thing I want to ask you guys, so obviously in The Force Awakens, when Rey has her vision, I don't even know if it's a flash forward or flashback. It's everything. We hear the words, "These are your first steps." The last thing we hear of it, and it was confirmed that that was Ewan McGregor, aka Obi-Wan Kenobi, who said that. So my question to you, Josh and Dean, why does Obi-Wan, of all people, say this to Rey? And Josh, I'll let you answer this first.
I mean, why does he say that? I don't know. That's a big question that I
Because
want
you
to
could have Yoda say it, like, "These are your
Yeah.
first steps." No.
Didn't Yoda say she isn't ready or something?
I think he said like, in episode 5 when he was like on Dagobah and he was talking to Luke about the Force. He was like, "It surrounds us." I think he said that
Binds us?
part. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
just those few words. I think that's it.
Oh, all right. I thought she said it doesn't. She isn't ready or something. But, yeah. Why Obi-Wan's talking to her? I think it's because the lightsaber means so much to Obi-Wan and to Luke. I think Obi-Wan is leading Luke or leading Rey, helping lead Rey to Luke. If I had to guess, but I'm not really sure. I have no idea.
What do you think, Dean?
Kind of the same line as Josh. I was doing a little bit of research, just because obviously that scene's probably going to be the most important scene once we watch the rest of the trilogy and we look back on it.
Yeah.
What I was reading was that Force, like becoming a Force ghost, was kind of extinct for a while. Like nobody had the ability to do it until around the Qui-Gon era.
Yeah.
So what I reckon is the people that did become Force ghosts after that era were all tied to a Skywalker. So, for example, like Yoda, Obi-Wan.
Those are the only two other we know that are Force ghosts. Qui-Gon, Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Yoda are the only Force ghosts we know exist.
Yes, and they're all connected to a Skywalker. So what I reckon is kind of what Josh was saying. The reason that they speak is because they're the recent ones to turn into Force ghosts and still be in the present and following the Skywalker lineage. So either that means Rey could be a Skywalker, which I hope / don't think she is, or it's just about leading Rey to Luke. Yeah, so that's what I think. And obviously it could be the whole Obi-Wan granddaughter theory and blah, blah, blah. But I reckon it's just about making sure Rey comes to Luke.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, one of my biggest questions I have for Rey that no one's asking is, why the hell is she British? Like, that's a Coruscanti accent. So, I don't know how she got it. But, otherwise she'd start sounding like Unkar Platt. But, that would be funny. But, the more I think about it, like, the less I think she's Luke's daughter. Like, I was so adamant on that after I saw the movie. But then I think, like, well, that's what they want us to think. And Star Wars never wants us to think we know it's going to happen. And they're going to have some kind of big twist. And I just don't know. And it hurts my brain. But
and the cool theory that's been coming around is the fact that like the prophecy may have reset. And like now Rey is the a new prophecy, like a new balance to the Force. But
yeah.
I don't know. I just think it's the voices lead back to being a Skywalker or needing to go to a Skywalker, which was what The Force Awakens was all about, really. Like opening the Force, releasing the Force, meeting Luke.
Yeah. And, I mean, one theory I heard, which is kind of far-fetched, but it's, I mean, like, you really can't say it's not possible because anything is possible in Star Wars, but that she could be some kind of relative, just like way down the line, a relative to Palpatine. Because she has the Force and she has that accent, and so did Palpatine.
I don't think that'll happen. I think it'll be interesting, but I just don't think it'll happen.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Force Awakens gave us so many damn questions to ask after, like more than we had going in. We have a year and a half to talk about it. Our next thing I want to talk about. So I thought about this too. I think about all these at like 2 a.m. in the morning. I'm just like sitting in bed. I'm like, what if this happened? So, an episode at the end of The Force Awakens, or before the end, when Rey says, so Leia is like, General Leia is looking at Rey right after, like right before they leave to go to Akchu or whatever the place Luke is, and Rey says nothing when Leia tells her, may the Force be with you." I'm kind of thinking that maybe Rey knew who she was when she went to go see Luke. Like maybe Leia told her who she was, and like she's very focused, and that's why she didn't say anything back to Leia. Like maybe Leia went and told her like, "Look, you are my niece," or something like that. So like when Rey goes to see Luke, it has even more emotional impact on her. Because I don't understand why they would send her out of everyone. You know?
Yeah.
What do you guys think about maybe she knows who she is going in, or knows something more about something that is weighing on her as she goes to see Luke?
I think Ray told Leia about the vision she was having, and so maybe she thought, oh, the Force is calling to you, so you should go, because the Force is calling to you.
That's a really good way to explain it. I didn't think about that. That's a really good way to explain it. That Rey obviously spoke to Leia and said, "Oh, look, this is the visions that I'm having. I see the island. I see the map."
Yeah,
it's a good way to think about it. I disagree that Leia would have told Rey anything just based on the simple fact that it would have been a massive emotional scene in the movie and in Star Wars lore in general, and we didn't get to see it. Mm-hmm. And it's not. They wouldn't put it in a flashback. They need to show us live and how she reacted at the time. So just based on that, I don't think that Leia would have let out any secrets or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean Leia has the Force, so does Rey. So I mean they could even know something about each other without even speaking, I guess. But I don't know. I mean I think. Maybe, I mean, it probably wouldn't make sense just because then it would kind of take away from possible storytelling. But maybe maybe Leia said, "This isn't the first time you've been seeing Luke. You trained with him." But I don't think she said that just because that's kind of a lot. But I don't know. I just think Rey, because I don't. When Rey walks onto the Falcon, she her mind is focused. I don't know. I just think something she knows, something maybe that I don't know.
Well, she's going to go get Luke Skywalker, who she thought was a myth. So she is just imagine if you were going to go pick up I don't know, Mark Hamill from the airport, you'd be super focused and super ready for anything.
Exactly.
I would be playing Star Wars music the whole way though. I wouldn't be silent.
I would act cool. I'd be like, "Oh, you're in a Star Wars movie, are you?"
Yeah.
Actually, I would probably play everything Mark Hamill's been in, just themes. I would play I would play Star Wars music. I would play Avatar: Last Airbender music. I would play Batman Arkham music, Batman the Animated Series music.
And that's why we're not picking up Mark Hamill from the airport.
We should. That would be so cool.
That would be called the restraining orders awaken, probably.
Yeah.
It'd be a 3-hour podcast just on what you guys spoke about.
Yeah. So Mark Hamill force tased me.
Yeah. It was so cool. He tased me. I've got
this is Force Talk Network coming straight from jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had lightsaber shaped mace. It was crazy. Or maybe he had the spinny thing TR-8R had. When we were like, "Mr. Hamill," and he just pulls that thing out.
Yeah, traitor.
Okay, that's enough for this. But yeah, that is that question. If you guys want to comment anything in the comment section about anything we talk about, we'd be more than happy to talk to you guys about it. So one of the last questions I want to ask. I heard this series somewhere. I don't remember where it was. I listen to a ton of Star Wars podcasts. But my question to you guys, I'll let Dean answer first. Do you think that Anakin has spoken to Kylo Ren through the Force? And could the pull from the light Ben feels be from Anakin?
This is my favorite fan theory. I don't think it's true just because if oh my god, it could be true. It's such a good theory. Like, and if it came out like this, I would just lose my mind because
it'd be heartbreaking.
It is such a good theory. It would be amazing because that way that when someone passes on like a strong Jedi and they can kind of still not manipulate the Force but help the Force like not right wrongs but kind of balance it out, and if that's what Vader was doing, oh wow, whoa, I love it so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it would be cool if that happened, but I just don't think it would, because I think we would see it if that actually did happen.
Well, I don't think we'd see it.
But we are seeing it.
Yeah.
We are, like, he's getting pulled to the light.
We just don't know. I mean...
No, I feel like we would have heard, like, Anakin talking to him.
Well, I don't, because I think that's...
But he can't because he's got the dark side. He's, like, masked by the dark side. He's got a wall up. Maybe if he, like, dropped the wall in his facade that he might hear Anakin, but... Oh, such a good theory.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think it'd be such a emotional tragedy just because there's so many things. There's so many signs for Ben. I'm just gonna start calling Kylo Ben. There's so many signs for Ben that he shouldn't be a dark side, and if that's coming from Darth Vader himself, like, why aren't you listening to the guy? But I kind of don't think it is, because then why would he still be talking to Darth Vader's helmet?
Yeah, exactly. He might, but the thing, he probably doesn't know. Like, Anakin...
I think he does.
Kind of... I don't know, I don't think Kylo would know that it was Anakin trying to pull him to the light side, because he is so adamant that the Iron Father was evil.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, this is kind of like a polarizing theory, just because it's in the realm of possibility and it kind of explains some stuff, but, I mean, like, I think the pull from the light is probably just the light side in general. Like, it could be him, it could be Obi-Wan Kenobi, it could be Yoda, it could be Shmi Skywalker. No one knows. But, I mean, I saw this one, like, this picture, this art, this fan-drawn art, and it was of, like, Kylo Ren taking off his helmet, and then there was, like, Force Ghost Anakin trying to talk to him, but Kylo, like, wouldn't listen. I'm like, that pulls on my heartstrings.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys want to talk about that, we'll kind of finish some of the, I guess not really, but the next thing I wanted to talk about was, I don't know if you've read this thing, but there is an Obi-Wan and Anakin comic.
Yeah, no, I haven't read any of the comics yet. I'm kind of waiting to just sit down and read them all at once.
Yeah. Do you want us to not talk about it a lot?
You can spoil it. You can spoil it. It's fun.
Okay, there's not really a ton of spoil. It's just kind of like visual scenes.
There's a flashback scene or something like that. That's really cool.
Yeah, so what happened is, like, Anakin and Obi-Wan, this is set before Attack of the Clones, and Anakin and Obi-Wan are called to this snow planet because some person asked for Jedi assistance, and Obi-Wan brought Anakin, and Anakin's still like a Padawan at this point. Like, he's not, I think it's like a few years before Attack of the Clones, but, like, so they're at this planet, and then, like, Obi-Wan says, like, Anakin, stay here or something, and then he jumps off this cliff or something. But that part didn't really matter. But the part that was really cool is we go back to, like, this flashback scene with Anakin, like, training with lightsabers at the Jedi Temple. And he's, like, he's facing. So there's, like, this robot that Padawans can, like, attack, like, with lightsabers. And, like, somehow Anakin makes this the hologram of Darth Maul, because he wants to know, like, how Qui-Gon died, and, like, he wants to be able to, like, fight Maul if that ever happened again or something. And he, like, kills him. And then, like, these two, like, Padawans are, like, saying, like, oh, that's the slave boy or something. And then he, like, uses the Force to, like, take up their lightsabers and, like, threaten them, like, with their own lightsabers. And then Obi-Wan comes in, and then we see Qui-Gon, like, say something. Not Qui-Gon. Maybe we can say something, and it's, like, the prequel stuff that we wanted. It's probably my favorite first issue of all the Star Wars comics. But
was that in the first issue? Wow.
Yeah.
That does sound really cool.
It's only a 5-issue run, though, which makes me sad. But, like, why couldn't you make this a 10-issue run and not put out Chewbacca? But that's my take. Josh, what did you think about this issue?
Yeah, I think it was a really good issue. I really liked it. I thought the flashback was the coolest part of it. I'm curious to see where the adventure goes. or what they're doing. I'm still curious to see what happens there, but I really did enjoy the flashback was so cool. Seeing Palpatine like watching over him.
Oh, that was a really cool part.
And then when he's like, send the boy to me, and then Mace Windu's like, I don't think that's right or whatever.
He's like, you're a senator. Why would I send him to you?
And he's like, aren't the Jedi under the Chancellor's rule? So send the boy to me.
Yeah,
like,
and then Mace Windu was like, as you wish or something. Like
Yeah.
you already know like the kind of tension that those two have.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is gonna be cool. Can't wait.
Yeah. So what did you? If you guys haven't read that, it was a phenomenal issue. I definitely think that you guys should read that one. That issue. It's only one issue, so it's not like you need to buy a ton of comics. I read it on the Marvel Apps comic or the app for Marvel Comics. That's where I read all my stuff because Josh pays for it and I read the codes. But yeah, so that comic was awesome. Probably my favorite first issue of almost all of them. I liked Vader issue 1 was probably my favorite of all the Vaders issues too. But going back to comics, Star Wars Shattered Empire was a 4-issue run that happened and it was based directly after the events of Episode 6, and we kind of end with Luke giving Poe Dameron's mother a force tree that she plants in the ground where they live, and they live on Yavin 4. But I say this because I heard this theory that Poe Dameron was already born before this force tree is planted, and that maybe Rey is a Dameron. Like maybe Rey was the daughter of Shara Dameron or something. I don't think this. I just wanted to throw it out there. What do you guys think?
No.
I mean, it'd be a weird. It'd be kind of familiar because in the Force Awakens novelization, we kind of got some romantic hints between Poe and Rey. So I guess Star Wars likes doing that with their siblings. So maybe, but yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
And then the last question I wanted to ask before we go to our one viewer question is, what is your guys' favorite piece of Star Wars merchandise that you own?
You know, I have no idea. Like, I mean, I have a lot of like,
or at least like top 5, maybe.
I mean, I have. All right, so I would say my favorite thing is I have an X-wing and I have an A-wing, and then I also have
like Black Series. What do you mean?
No, like old toys when they first came out. When Star Wars first came out, like
like Kenner, I guess.
Yeah, something
cool.
like that. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but I have them on my shelf. I also have a Slave 1. It's just I can't fit it on my shelf, so it's in my garage, but I know where it is. It's safe. And then I also have like a C-3PO R2-D2 kind of like stand thing where you press a button and C-3PO says his usual thing. I'm C-3PO. This is my counterpart R2-D2.
Yeah.
And then I like plays the Star Wars theme. It's pretty cool. And then I also have like a few Star Wars toys from like a while ago. I don't know which series they're from either, but just a few, like an Obi-Wan, Boba Fett, a few Stormtroopers, and then I also have, and then the pop figures I've started getting into. Love the pop figures. And then I also have like a Star Wars coffee mug. I love coffee, so I have a Force Awakens coffee mug, so that I use like almost, I use that every day.
I hate coffee.
I love my coffee. I'm using it right now.
I hate coffee.
It's so cool.
Yeah. How about you, Dean? What are some of your favorite Star Wars things you own?
Good thing about Australia is where in America how you have the pop figures and they're all at different stores and different exclusives and whatnot. We pretty much only have 1 or 2 major stores that sell them, so they share the exclusives. So I've got every Force Awakens pop figure, bar the ones in the Bounty Crate that you guys get, because Australians can't get the Bounty Crate, which is annoying. So that's really cool. I've got the Spiro BB-8, which is really fun to play with.
Same.
When Force Friday was a thing, when the Force Awakens toys first came out, I just got all like the original figures and the Rey speeder and all that fun stuff. Got a massive X-wing that comes up to like my waist when you stand it up, which is pretty cool. Probably my favorite is those got one of those R2D2s that walks around. It's kind of like the Sphero, but obviously you can't control it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, you can with voice commands, but yeah, it's like maybe up to my knee, maybe a little bit higher, and it walks around and you can talk to it. So you go, "Hey R2," and it will like turn to you, and then you go, "Do you remember?" And then you go, "Luke Skywalker," and it will act all happy, and then you go, "Darth Vader," and it will like run away from you and scream.
That's awesome.
It's just it's probably the best thing to play around with, just because it can walk around the house by itself, and you don't really need to worry about it too much unless you want to talk to it. Then it'll come over.
Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't go down the stairs.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I can just hear like the wow, and he just like falls down.
Pretty much, eh? That's why it's
You're
got
talking in your sleep and it falls downstairs.
Yeah, like that scene in
R2's like
episode
face
4.
down.
Like that scene in episode 4 when he gets like attacked by the Jawas, he just falls on his face. Let's see. Some of my favorite stuff. I have the Anakin Skywalker, Luke Skywalker, Rey, whatever her last name is now, lightsaber, the super nice version. I have it on a stand.
That's cool.
Obviously on the Force Awakens Funko Pops. I have Finn, Rey, Kylo Ren. I have the Han Solo Luke crate, which is him in in his snow planet in his coat. I have the Han Solo regular. I have the Smuggler's Bounty, Captain Phasma, which is like shiny.
So jealous. I'm so angry that I can't get it. I have to do like a random weird postage thing that costs me an extra $50 on top of what's already really expensive because of exchange rates. Yeah. So I'm paying like a ridiculous amount of money for it.
It's not really worth it. Like at least mine came like the boxes came damaged and they didn't even send me the like one of them wasn't even Force Awakens. They sent me the wrong one. It was
really?
Yeah. So like I guess it's technically Force Awakens, but they advertised that they were gonna send a Phasma in a First Order TIE pilot with like 2 like red stripes down his face. Mine didn't come with stripes at all. And then they said it was going to come with like a Kylo Ren shirt. I got a Flame Trooper shirt. I was kind of pissed.
Are you guys talking about Smuggler's Bounty?
Yeah.
Alright. I just ordered Smuggler's Bounty, so I wish I knew this before.
Well, I mean, I think mine's just kind of like a rarity, but I'm excited for the new for this month.
Yeah, they're advertising a BB-8 pop figure for this one, which I'm excited.
Like an alternate. Oh, I'm gonna have to work it out. I'm stupid. I'll throw away money and I'll just buy it.
Well, people will sell it online for cheaper than the whole Smuggler Bounty is. Like you can get the Phasma one for like $30.
Oh, that's alright then.
Yeah.
And then I have posters of the original trilogy, and then probably one of my favorite things is I have a signed Darth Vader. So like the guy who played Darth Vader, David Prowse. I have a signed picture of Darth Vader on in Episode 5 when he's like, Luke, come with me and we can rule the galaxy as father and son. And he has his arm out. And it says, you don't know the power of the dark side. And it says, like, to Trey. And then it says, like, Darth Vader, a.k.a. David Prowse. I think that's
that's cool. Awesome, man. That's sick.
But, I mean, you can buy, like, his signature for $50. It's pretty cheap. So
yeah, but that's, like, personalized to you,
no,
which
like,
just makes it awesome.
He'll personalize it for free.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Like it's not that exclusive, but I make people sound like it is.
$50 is still a lot of money.
You shouldn't have told us that. You should have just went with it. Just been like, oh yeah, this is crazy. You'd never get it.
Yeah, but
I knew him. Like should have been like my parents know David Prowse. We're close.
Yeah, I actually am David Prowse.
Yeah.
AKA Snoke. Oh yeah, so that's. Let's see, like Sphero BB-8. I have some Star Wars. I have 4 pairs of Star Wars Vans shoes.
Oh yeah, no, that's my favorite. I've got the set, so the hat and the shoes for Star Wars, the black ones with little stormtrooper.
Oh yeah,
like mandala patterns. Yeah, they're amazing.
I have the Vans with the New Hope, like Atla, like the poster on it. I have the Yoda ones with flowers and Yoda on it.
Oh yeah, I wanted those ones, but they sold out.
Yeah, they kind of hurt my heel. It's weird. And then I have Hoth ones. They have like AT-ATs and like Wampas and like Luke on them, and yeah. So those are sick. I don't think. And then I have the IMAX posters that they give out at the Force Awakens. If you go see an IMAX, I have all 3. I'm gonna get the 4th one tomorrow. And
I'm so jealous of you Americans. Like,
yeah.
IMAX doesn't really exist here.
Then I
There's
also
a
have
few cinemas.
the Disney Ultimate figure that has Rey holding a lightsaber, and I bought the Kylo Ren Unmasked Ultimate Series figure that has his cape cut. So I have right on my shelf. I have Rey versus Kylo Ren lightsaber, just touching and stuff. It's really cool. But yeah, that's probably it for my Star Wars stuff. I probably have a lot more stuff. I just can't remember. I also have a signed Mark Hamill thing. Just kidding. That would be crazy.
That'd be so cool.
Yeah, I think it's cool how Mark Hamill on Twitter is doing that whole these are fake, these are real.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
really
my
cool.
cousin told me about
I'd be
that.
so pissed if I bought a fake one. But I mean, if it's kind of cheap, you should probably expect it to be fake.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and then
Like
we got
fake.
one viewer question or Twitter question, and this one comes from Behind the Console on Twitter, who asks, "Where has Snoke been the whole time?" And thank you for the question, Behind the Console. We very much appreciate it. Josh, where has Snoke been the whole time? And I think he just
Where
means
has he
from
been?
if he has been. He said in the novel he's been there from the fall of the Galactic Republic to now. So where has he been? Has he been with Conja Club?
Yeah. He's actually the leader of Kent Club. No, I have no idea where Snoke's been. I think if I've had to guess, I think Snoke has been just hiding out through the Empire days. I think he's been just hiding out, trying to build maybe an army. Like maybe he built some supporters. Like maybe he got some of the Moffs on his side, let's say something like that, manipulated and got some people, so just in case Luke didn't or Vader didn't turn on the Emperor and kill him, maybe he had his own army to take him out. Who knows? But maybe because then after, I think an aftermath, there's that dark figure that you don't see in Aftermath that's talking to Salone, or I think that's her name, Salone. And
Stallone.
what's
The
the
Rockies in
girl's
Star
name?
Wars?
No, what's the girl's name from?
I don't know. I think it's Admiral Ray Sloan, but I got bored with that book.
Yeah,
So
Salone. Yeah,
Sloan. I think
she's
it's
in
Sloan.
Aftermath,
Okay, anyways, I didn't finish it. It got boring.
and basically she talks to this guy, and he's this dark figure. I think that's Snoke, and I think she's helping. They're both building this whole thing, and somehow she dies. I don't know what happens, but something like that, something along those lines, I think will happen. I don't
The
know.
thing is, with that, it indicates that he wasn't powerful enough to control Palpatine or take over Palpatine. It kind of just, I don't know, just kind of seems like,
But he was in his sleep, well, according to legends. So.
yeah. Well, something that was on, I think it was on Jedi Council this week. How Tiffany brought up the whole Voldemort thing. Was that on Jedi Council?
Probably.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, so basically how what I think, well, obviously a lot of people are saying that it's Darth Plagueis. What I think anyway is that when Palpatine killed Darth Plagueis, Plagueis obviously survived and went into kind of a weak state, and it didn't have any power, and he had to kind of
That's a good point.
kind of sit in the back and just wait to become powerful again, either by getting an army, as you said, or absorb, maybe going and finding Sith relics to get some of the power back out of him, or I don't know, manipulating the Force, kind of like how Voldemort had to do certain things to get his body back and get his power back. So if they went that route with it, obviously, as I said before, I'm a massive Harry Potter fan, but if they did that kind of similar thing but made it Star Wars and made it their own and made it a little bit fantasy sci-fi, then it'd be awesome. That's what I think would be really cool and would explain a lot and wouldn't just be oh yeah, he was chilling in the background waiting for things to happen.
He was at Maz's castle the whole time. He just didn't know.
Yeah.
There was this, I was watching this video on YouTube just because I'm bored and I don't do a lot, and it was these theories for episode 8, and I posted one on Twitter, and this guy was like, Rey is in a cave with Luke, and the image of Snoke comes up and Rey kills him, and then Luke comes out, and Luke reveals that he is Supreme Leader Snoke, and I just started laughing. I'm like, what? That makes no sense at all. But where, let's see, so where has Snoke been? I heard this theory that Snoke, so if Snoke is Darth Plagueis did die, but then like he's using like the reincarnated bodies of like some of the people who've died, like that's why part of Vader's like dead head is there, kind of, and like
Yeah.
he needs to find Luke so that he can get like he well basically like he's trying to like get Kylo Ren like as powerful as he can so he could like take Kylo's powers from him, and then he's trying to find Luke so he can take Luke's powers from him. I heard that. That was kind of intriguing. But to answer the question, where has Snoke been? I think he was probably on the, if he is some kind of dark side affiliate, he was probably on the Sith home planet of Morabond the whole time, kind of like figuring out stuff. Or I think he was somewhere in the Outer Rim, because I don't remember where it said it, but after the fall of the Empire, I think the First Order like went to the Outer Rim and like kind of set up base there. So I think he was probably there, and he is actually. I mean, he is like part of the politics in the Empire or in the First Order too. So he's not just like this dark side user. Like he has some kind of affiliation with the First Order. So to answer the question, I have no idea. He could have been dead. He could have. I don't know. I really have no idea. I mean, do you guys think he's Plagueis right now? I mean, what percentage would you say that you think he's Darth Plagueis?
I think it's 50-50.
I think it's probably less than 50 for me. But I'm an idiot. I don't know.
More than 50 for me, just because a lot of the things that I think fans think are going to happen aren't going to happen. But I think Plagueis will be the one that they throw the fans and be like, because
Like a
the Darth Plagueis novel was one of the biggest expanded universe novels that ever came out. So if you were a fan of canon back before Disney canon was a thing, then Darth Plagueis would be the one that that Disney would choose to Disney would choose to like bring in and say, yeah guys, we've got your back.
Yeah,
Just make sure you tell that to Conjure Club.
Yep.
Yeah, so that will probably end the show, except I just saw one thing on Twitter I wanted to read you guys. J.J. Abrams was asked about how there's so much lack of Rey merchandising, and he responded, quote, "I wish I had more details about merchandising and the schedule," he said. "I'm learning things as you are. I will say that it seems preposterous and wrong that the main character of the movie is not well represented in what is clearly a huge part of Star Wars world in terms of the merchandising, so I would argue. I read that she wasn't in the Monopoly game, and I was quickly making phone calls about this, because if it were true, and it is true, now Hasbro, of course, has said that they're going to put Rey in. It doesn't quite make sense why she wouldn't be there. She's somewhat important to the story." So I think it's cool that J.J. Abrams just kind of he has everyone's back, I guess, and like he's kind of pissed off too that Rey isn't anywhere, because I mean like I had to go out of my way to find the one Rey figure I have, and it was like $50 because they don't make any, because everything's sold out and they don't really restock at the shelves or anything. But
Yeah.
do you guys have anything Rey related?
I have the like Rey and Rey Speeder Force Friday little package thing, but other than that, no.
I have the Ray Pop.
And the pops
here.
and stuff, yeah, pop figures, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Ray Pop, that's it.
Yeah. Well, I guess that will probably end the show. So we'd like to thank Dean for coming on today. And Dean, where can people find you on various internet places?
At Deanishes on Twitter, at Deanishes on Google. I'm a YouTube vlogger, and I do a lot of different type of videos, so Star Wars videos and all that fun stuff. So yeah, subscribe there, follow me on Twitter, and yeah, like, comment, all that fun stuff.
Definitely. You will do it. With the
Yeah, they have to. If they don't, then I don't like them, and then I'll cry. And I don't like crying, but I do nearly every night now, because the person that's listening to this isn't liking and commenting on my stuff.
First world problems.
Yep.
Okay, Josh, where can people find you?
You guys can find me on YouTube, Grand Moff Josh, and then on Twitter at Joshua7520.
Yeah, and
You've got to watch Josh's Zootopia reaction. He cries a little bit as well.
and you guys can find me. You are obviously listening to my channel here, so stay tuned. We do this every Saturday morning. I try to put the videos up as quickly as I can. But you guys can find me on Twitter at the Treynator and on Instagram at Trey_Mitchell3. I've floated around with a lot of names. My old Instagram name used to be Kylo_Ren7, but people were very confused, so I changed it back to my real name. So I think that will be all of it. And if someone asks you why, or if someone asks you about this podcast, just say that you heard it from Concha Club. So see you guys. Bye.